Well, hello, Southwest Church family, to our midweek message. Hey, Doyle,
Yep.
Doyle, man, I know you've been locked up a while, but
I know it's crazy. We have the same shirt on, and we've been in separate houses. We didn't even know, and
yeah, that's
crazy.
not what I meant. I was
Oh,
talking about you're kind of looking a little scruffy.
oh,
Your hair.
you're telling me I need a haircut so bad, and
Well, how about your barber?
I can't get to Jamaica. It's too far away, so I
Oh,
it's just growing. I'm not sure what to do.
dude,
Oh,
I can help you. Hold on. Yeah, I've got you covered, dude.
you could like cut my hair
Oh,
over.
totally. Hold on. Hold on.
Well, well, be
Okay.
careful, but be careful.
No,
Hey,
I
hey,
got you. I
hey.
got you.
Oh, perfect.
Dude, nice.
Wow, that looks good, Brian.
Yep, I know.
Where'd
Hey,
you learn that from?
Kareem, my
Kareem,
barber.
yeah, love Kareem. Oh, hey, we're dumb sometimes, but that's fun.
Well, yeah, we are.
Get to get a haircut every now and then. Hey, I've been wondering because I get bored around the house. We love playing Bop It at our house. You want to play Bop It?
I haven't played that in years.
It's fun, man. It's great. You want to play?
Yeah, I know. I'm in. I'm in.
Do you,
I'm just warning you, I'm the king.
I have one, so I'll just pass it back and forth. If that's
Yeah.
all right.
All right. I'm ready. All right.
All right. You're good at this?
Well, it's been a while.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here we go.
Pop it. Twist it. Spin it. Pass it.
Here we go.
Pop it. Pull it. Pop it. Pop it. Twist it. Oh.
Oh, not twist it. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Let's try again.
You lose. All right.
I know.
We'll do it again.
All right. Here we go. Yeah, I got to warm up. All right. You ready?
Pop it. Twist it. Pass it. Pop it. Pop it. Spin it. Lick it. Fail.
Oh. I messed up.
Yes. 1-1.
All right, 1-1. Last round, let's just do 2 out of 3. Last round, but this is a Bop It Extreme that we have at our house. So I'm going to turn on the extreme button. Here we go. You ready for a Bop It Extreme?
What is that exactly?
I don't know. Never played Bop It Extreme.
Okay. All right. I'm ready.
Let's start.
Pop it. Pull it. Headbutt it. Toss it. Pass it.
There you go.
Pop it. Headbutt it. Dance with it. Kiss it. Kiss it. Kiss it. Kiss it again. Slowly.
All right. Okay. Now I'm not playing this.
No, let's not play Bop It.
You win, dude. You win.
That was a
You
little
win
weird.
Bop It Extreme.
Bop It Extreme. Well, yeah, don't turn that button on again because no telling what I'll do. Hey, we need to do our weekly updates for our church. So glad to be when we can be together and talk about these updates face to face. But for now, we're going to give you these updates on Wednesday afternoon. So first thing we need to know about our offices, of course, if you've heard, Brian, the city council has extended our stay-at-home advisory all in Amarillo until the 30th of April. And so we are going to be modeling this for our community and how we can do our best for our community in being good neighbors. And so our office is closed down through then, and then we'll reassess when they reassess. But remember, the phones are being answered. Our staff is all working from home. The phones are being answered, forwarded to one of our numbers. And we are also giving out food twice a week. So if you see activity up at the church, we're doing Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're doing our food benevolence giveaways. So office closed, staff's at home. You should be getting calls from a lot of them. And phones are being answered. Food's been being given away.
And of course, that means our online services are still going to be online, at least through the end of the month.
Right.
And then along with the city, we also will reevaluate. So check the website often for updates and Also for suggestions for spiritual growth at home for you, for our youth, for children, everything. And something really cool at Easter is we had quite a few guests that I know I heard from, and a lot of the staff did. Keep inviting people, that people are hearing the message of Jesus. And so that's a pretty exciting thing. And as you're at home, remember, we encourage you to make communion bread at home. And of course, you can get grape juice or something from the store. But if you need the recipe for that bread, it is on the Corona page. You can still scroll down and find that recipe. But if you'd like that individual communion cups that we have at the building, you give us a call at the church. We'll arrange time for you to pick it up, or we're glad to deliver it to you.
Yeah, southwest.org is our website. You can go there, and the Corona page is where that recipe is. Also, with our giving, there's two ways to give. You remember right now, and you can go online and give at southwest.org. We have a giving page, or you can just mail it. We're getting our mail every day, and it's secure. We're getting it from the post office, so you can mail that in. And I want to say, Brian, this has really been amazing for me to watch this. I'm glad to report that in the midst of all this, our first Sunday, we've gotten our second Sunday giving yet, but our first Sunday giving was beyond what we could have even expected, especially for a time like this, but really about like it is on a normal first Sunday. And I'm just so thankful for our church that they've learned new ways to give and gone out of their way to get their giving to us. And just an encouragement to keep it up, and thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be able to pay the bills and support our missionaries and support our ministers and keep on giving away food and all that kind of thing through this crisis. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, you guys, and just let me add to that, just as one of the ministers, our staff all met together in our cyber meeting yesterday, and when we heard that report of your faithful giving, I mean, I just want to say thank you. I just acknowledge that it is because of your generosity that I am able to support my family and work for Christ full time. And so all of us on staff that have that privilege to serve in that way, we're very grateful for you and just want to say thank you. I literally have had people contacting me from the body as well, concerned for us, and looking for how can they learn how to give in these new ways so that we take care of not just us, but also the ongoing ministry, because the ministry is increasing. It's not decreasing during this time. So just add my thanks to that. Also, just in terms of our small groups, Ryan Porsche, our small groups minister. He's been connecting with all the leaders, all the small group leaders, and he's done the lion's share of them. There might be a few of you he hasn't gotten in contact with, but he was very encouraging about how all the leaders, all you guys are taking care of your members, and members of the small groups are taking care of each other. That is just awesome. Now, not everyone is meeting like this, like Dole and I are talking here. Some are doing, but many are. My group is. I know, Dole, your group is. And so that's really encouraging. It's not like face-to-face, but like we keep saying, it's better than nothing. And I would go beyond that. It's very beneficial and useful just to get, even through the computer, some FaceTime with each other and some sharing time. And so we want to encourage you, if you need a tutorial on how to do that, you call the church and we will get you connected with one of these guys that's really good at explaining it.
Right. Our group met last night, Brian, and I know yours did too. And it's just good to hear how are you doing and how are your parents and how are things going, and get to pray together. So that was really good, and laugh together. It's good for us to laugh together. Hey, we want to update on Kinsey Morgan. We told you last week that Kinsey Morgan left. Actually, a week ago today, she left to serve. She is a ICU nurse here in town, and she has gone to New Jersey to serve kind of on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. And she has been there working since Thursday of last week. She's working hard. And if you know Kinsey, she is a ball of energy, and she loves her work and is called to her work. And she's working hard and long shifts and loving people and serving them with her gifts. And she's tired. And it's hard. She shared with Adrian and shared with some others. She shared with Adrian it's like working in an ICU and a hospice all at the same time because of the amount of death and the hard things that are happening in there. But she's doing well and has another week there of serving. And then she'll be coming back here to quarantine here for 2 weeks. Adrian's doing well. The boys miss their mom, of course. So keep praying for them. Keep praying for Kinsey. And if you know Kinsey or the Morgan family, shoot them a text or give them a call. Text is probably the best with Kinsey right now because of her work schedule. But just let them know you're thinking about them and praying about them and praying for them. And I know that's a great encouragement to them. So Brian, this week and last week, my kids, my older kids especially, have been in the Sermon on the Mount a little bit, and it's got me to thinking more about the Sermon on the Mount. We're preparing for camp that we do in the summer, and I was thinking this week about about Matthew 5 in the first section beyond the Beatitudes of the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5:13 through 16. Can you read that? You're going to read that for me?
Yes. It says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It's no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled by men. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven."
Yeah, I love this text. I've taught through the Sermon on the Mount a couple of times at Southwest, and this text always stands out to me. And the first reason is a lot of this is pointed out by Randy Harris in one of his books, is that in this text that you just read, he doesn't say you can be the salt of the earth and you can be the light of the world. He doesn't say that you need to work towards being the salt and the light. He says, you are salt and you are the light. And it's like when we are living in the life, living in the spirit that we were created in as in the image of God, that we don't have to work at it. We are salt and light. That's who we are in our spirit. And so that means in saltiness, we've talked about this a lot. There's a lot of qualities, but the ones that stood out to me this week where you're of great worth. The salt in that time, in the time of Jesus, him teaching, was used as a currency. It was traded as a currency. And so you're of great worth. And sometimes I think in our homes, when we're maybe not doing our jobs and that kind of thing, we start to feel worthless. And Jesus reminds us here, you are of great worth. You are salt. And then you're a preservative. You're used to keep things from going bad. That was salt used a lot in that time. And it makes me think of people that I have conversations with, that the conversations always lead to good. When we talked about this a second ago, Brian, I mentioned I had a couple of conversations recently with our friend Paula Leverett. And I can't ever remember having a conversation with Paula Leverett that went to something bad. It is always spirit-filled and loving and full of praise and good. Even when it's something hard, she's full of praise. And so salty people are preserving conversations, preserving relationships. And then people that are the opposite of that every time you talk to them, it seems to go to gossip, or it seems to go to the bad things, or it seems to go to down maybe bad trails of discussion. So we're preservative. We're of great worth. We give flavor. And Brian, I have seen you eat French fries often in our relationship, and I know that you love flavor of salt on your French fries. And so we are to be giving good flavor to our world as salt. And then of light, man, the first thing I think of when he says you're light, that means I'm like Jesus, because Jesus said in John, while I'm here, I'm the light of the world. But he says in Matthew, you're the light. And so I am like Jesus in that, and that we are useful as a guide and useful as people that can lead to the safe things, lead to the right things, and that we're obvious, that we're bright, that we can be seen from great distances because we're different, I guess, than the darkness around us. Randy Harris in his book, he talks about two things that salt and light require. The first is salt and light need to be different from the things that they're a part of. That's required. Light has to be different from dark. Salt has to be different from the things around it. And second, that it needs to penetrate. Salt and light need to penetrate their environment or other ingredients in order to make a difference. You have to be a part of it and penetrating it to make a difference. You can't just be out on your own. Salt over here without the French fries doesn't do any good, right? Salt on the French fries does great things, right?
Right on. Yeah, I love that thought, Doyle, especially at this time while we're in these unique circumstances. I love Jesus' confidence that he speaks over us by saying that you pointed out, you are salt and light.
Right.
Like you said, he didn't say you can be, you are. This is your proper identity in Christ. Right. That's who you now naturally and supernaturally are. But he adds a warning in there that you can lose your saltiness and you
Right.
can hide your light. You're not supposed to, but it can happen. So this is both an encouragement and a warning, and it's probably appropriate in these circumstances we're in as we live through this kind of lockdown and this quarantine. We probably all need to ask ourselves. I need to ask myself, am I losing my saltiness? Am I losing my light? When I get on this video, Doyle, with you, and I know this is going out to my friends, I can turn it on, but when I turn this off and go in the next room with my kids and my wife, and I go to the store and all that, I've got to ask, am I being who I am, who Jesus says I am, with my family, with my spouse, and then with my friends who I connect with, and even on social media? I tell you, occasionally I see some posts by people who follow Christ. I know they do, but they're losing a little bit of their saltiness and light in it, and it's not always that. So I appreciate the encouragement that you're bringing to us there, and I just want to add to it. Church, we love you. We are salt and light, so in every circumstance, it is our opportunity to stand out as we penetrate the culture for Christ and make a difference. We love you.
Yeah, we love you.